Good morning. It is 9 o'clock and Wink News continues to follow breaking news we first brought you at 6 this morning. Jimmy Rogers, the second of two men accused in the murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers, is now in the Lee County Jail.
Deputies transported Rogers overnight from Illinois, where he had just finished serving time for a probation violation. Wink News reporter Stephanie Susskind, she's at the jail for us with more on what happens next in this murder case. Stephanie?
Good morning, Rob and Jen. Jimmy Rogers booked into the Lee County Jail around 5:45 this morning. He will appear before a judge tomorrow, making his first appearance, now facing a charge of murder in Dr. Teresa Sievers' death. As you mentioned, he was serving time in a federal prison in Illinois for a probation violation. That sentence ended yesterday. Lee County deputies picked him up and brought him here to Lee County. Now, Jimmy Rogers and Wayne Wright are the two men accused of the brutal killing of Dr. Teresa Sievers in her Bonita Springs home back in June. They're accused of beating her to death with a hammer. Now, earlier this month, new evidence was released from the state attorney's office. Authorities released a video interview with Jimmy Rogers' girlfriend, Taylor Shoemaker. In that interview, she told detectives that Jimmy Rogers told her Wayne Wright hired him to kill Teresa Sievers and was going to pay him $10,000. She also said that Jimmy Rogers confessed to her about the murder. Now, of course, this case is ongoing and still developing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says it is still a very active investigation. Again, both men accused in the murder are now in the Lee County Jail. Jimmy Rogers booked about 5:45 this morning. He'll appear before a judge tomorrow. Reporting live at the Lee County Jail, Stephanie Susskind, Wink News this morning.
Now, Wink News this morning at 9 will continue in just a minute with Wink News anchors Teresa O'Shea and Sean Kreisman continuing our coverage.
But first, a look at some of the best video and sounds from overnight and this morning in the Wink News Eye Opener.
Motive remains unclear at this point.
Suspected gunman Jason Dalton waves his right hand against self-incrimination and offers a confession. Right now, police are still looking for a motive and say the targets were chosen at random.
You understand the charges being made against you?
What we do not want to do is walk away here and with a sense of false hope.
Kevin Roy of Sanibel, Randy Henderson of Fort Myers, and Marty Sawicki of Cape Coral held a conference call with the Army Corps of Engineers.
It doesn't look like there will be any end in sight. The Army Corps of Engineers just upped the amount of water we're seeing to about 4 billion gallons of water a day.
And they wanted to get out of town. All their focus was we have to have this check today. Have to have it now.
When Chance was born, Brandon Gutierrez called DCF worried about his safety after the death of Barry and Walsh's first child. In fact, he got a ride from the couple the same day they buried that baby in a shallow grave.
This guy is sick. There's something wrong with this guy.
Every single day, something comes out of the Cruz campaign that's deceptive and untrue.
Senator Ted Cruz's spokesman is off of his campaign after releasing a video misquoting Senator Marco Rubio about the Bible.
Rubio is leading Cruz in the Silver State. Both are vying to be the main alternative to Trump, with Super Tuesday just a week away.
Is Trump unstoppable? Is Donald Trump now the inevitable GOP nominee?
What he has right now, it appears to be unstoppable.
Yes, Trump is unstoppable. He's like Godzilla with less foreign policy experience. I'll admit. I thought he was just doing this to promote his reality show or sell more steaks. When he announced his intention to be president, it never occurred to me that his endgame was to be president.
And that's your Wink News This Morning Eye Opener.
Live from Southwest Florida's news leader, this is Wink News This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on Wink News This Morning at 9. I'm Sean Kreisman.
And I'm Teresa O'Shea. It is a rainy start to the 9 o'clock hour. We have meteorologist Scott Zediker in with a look at what's going on outside. Scott.
Thank you, Trace and Sean. Good morning, everyone. It's 9:02, and we're looking at a live Sanibel Harbor Marriott Skycam. Look at that, some sunshine trying to peek through those clouds, and I think that's what we're going to be dealing with second half of the day until we get these clouds out of here and the rain. We're going to see these types of conditions, obviously, and there you go. There's our live Skycam downtown Fort Myers and dealing with some rain right now. Let's zoom in and give you a little radar tour. There's the 1-hour time lapse on Doppler radar. This rain has been steady, moving in from the south to the north the last couple of hours. Zoom in a little closer over the Lee County Islands. You can arriving tomorrow.
And we start out with some breaking news right now. 2 people were shot inside an Arizona home this morning.
Police confirm it happened in Glendale. We'll give you some video here, an aerial view there. These are the pictures from the house. As you can see, the house was on fire, smoke still billowing there from the roof. They have not yet given us any information about who was shot inside this home. Initial reports indicated a family of 4 lives at that house you're seeing there. There was an active shooter inside the house when police arrived. No shots have been heard in about 90 minutes. We'll keep you posted again in the shooting investigation in Glendale, Arizona.
Also this morning, Week News is digging for more details in a death investigation in Cape Coral. This happened overnight at the Island Cove condos off of Del Prado Boulevard and Veterans Memorial Parkway. This is the same complex where Cape Coral detectives say a missing person lives. That person, James Marshall, has been missing for a week now. He's not been answering any calls, text messages, or emails, which family and friends say is abnormal for him. If you have any information on his location, again, that man, James Marshall, there on your screen, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS. We also have some brand new video just into the Week newsroom to a breaking story we first told you about this morning at 4:30. This is from a train crash in the Netherlands. One person, the train's driver, is dead after the passenger train hit a crane on a crossing near a central Dutch town. 7 others are injured. Police say they detained the driver of the train for questioning, as part of their investigation into the cause of that crash.
Continuing our coverage this morning of the ongoing Lake Okeechobee release controversy in our community. In less than an hour at 10, business owners, real estate agents, and the Everglades Foundation, they're teaming up to speak about the economic impact here. As of this morning, the Lake O releases are not slowing down. We just found out the Army Corps of Engineers increased the water flowing to the Gulf to 4 billion gallons a day. Right now, the Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Sanibel mayors are in Washington fighting to stop all the brown, murky water coming into our area. They will meet with the Army Corps of Engineers and the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee alongside Congressman Kurt Clausen. Their big goal here is to get the Nelson-Clausen bill passed. That would speed up the process to send water south away from Southwest Florida.
Accused Michigan mass shooter Jason Bryant Dalton is facing 16 charges in Saturday's gun rampage, including 6 counts of murder and 8 firearms charges. He's being held right now without bail as police comb through evidence in the horrific series of attacks. Reed Binion has more.
Motive remains unclear at this point in time.
Prosecutor Jeffrey Getting on the continuing investigation into Saturday's shooting rampage in Michigan.
One of the pieces of evidence that was seized from the suspect was his phone.
Other key evidence, the handgun police say they found on suspect Jason Bryant Dalton. The pistol consistent with shell casings from all 3 crime scenes. Perhaps even more disturbing, the heavy-duty jacket capable of concealing a pistol, which law enforcement says Dalton bought less than 3 hours before the first attack. Also, a veritable arsenal, a total of 11 rifles investigators found at Dalton's home. This, as one injured victim is still recovering, expected to survive, while another clings to life in the hospital.
She is alive, and she is fighting for her life.
14-year-old Abigail Koff is in critical condition, the only survivor in the 3rd and final attack. Her mother breaking down Monday as she and Abigail's father spoke about their little girl, even showing sympathy for the suspect's loved ones.
Our thoughts are with the Dalton family, who also are suffering at this time. We want his family to know that we don't hold anything against the family members.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Also this morning, now out of Campaign Central, Republicans caucusing in Nevada today to select their party's presidential nominee.
And GOP frontrunner Donald Trump is looking to secure a 3rd win in a row, while rival Ted Cruz is fighting back against claims he's running a dirty campaign. And Week News anchor Jen Stacey, she joins us in the studio now with details. Jen.
Yeah, Sean and Trace, after winning those primaries in both New Hampshire and South Carolina, Donald Trump is eyeing a big win in Nevada tonight. On the eve of the state's GOP caucuses, the Republican frontrunner did not hold back, slamming a protester, even saying he would punch one in the face. He's also bashing rival Ted Cruz for what he called dishonest campaign ads. After finishing in 3rd place behind Marco Rubio in South Carolina, Cruz is going into today's contest without his communications director. Rick Tyler was asked to resign Monday for sharing a false news story on social media that suggested Rubio dismiss the Bible.
I have made clear in this campaign that we will conduct this campaign with the very highest standards of integrity.
Rubio is leading Cruz in the Silver State. Both are vying to be the main alternative to Trump, with Super Tuesday now just a week away. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton will take part in a town hall event tonight in South Carolina. That's ahead of the state's Democratic primary this weekend. Back to you.
Jen, thank you. On the docket this morning, jury selection begins today for former Cape Coral police officer Casey Ortiz. You remember he is accused of having sex with 2 underage girls while on duty. Cape police say he was fired from the department in 2014 for not filling out proper paperwork when he took one of those alleged victims on a ride-along in his patrol car. Ortiz pleaded not guilty. Now to a Wink News exclusive. Only Wink News is talking to the man who made a warning call to try to save baby Chance Walsh's life. That's Brandon Gutierrez. He called DCF after Chance was born, saying he was worried after Joseph Walsh and Kristen Burry's first child died. He says he even saw the couple the day they buried the baby.
And they wanted to get out of town. All their focus was we have to have this check today. Have to have it now.
He says he didn't realize that at the time their 9-week-old baby had already been dead for a week at that time. Burry did take a plea deal, which requires her to testify against Walsh. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Walsh is currently awaiting trial.
Now this morning, a teen who was on this helicopter when it crashed, we'll show it to you in a moment here, when it was in Pearl Harbor, has died. That's the helicopter there. The 16-year-old and 3 of his family members were on the helicopter tour last week when it went down. The teen was stuck underwater for more than a minute before being rescued. Right now, 2 of his family members are still hospitalized but are in stable condition. Federal agencies are investigating what led to that crash.
Calling on Congress to help them fight a federal judge's order for the tech giant to hack one of their own iPhones. The FBI wants Apple to disable the security of one of the San Bernardino shooters to find out who he was communicating with for the attack. We have more on Apple's new call on Congress and a new poll showing who Americans are siding with, the FBI or Apple, in our next half hour.
One of the first pieces of legislation President Obama passed after he took office had a major impact on one Florida company. Now this Friday, the president is paying them a visit to check their progress.
Plus, if you are one of the millions who use Amazon to shop, you're soon going to have to spend more for shipping. We have all the details ahead in the Wink News Money Watch. Scott.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, tracking that rain across the area. Look at that, moving in from the south to the north. It's been over southwest Florida the last couple of hours. Now it's working its way into Charlotte, DeSoto, and Highlands County. When I come back, we'll track the rain. Talk about a significant cold front arriving tomorrow. Do we see strong weather? I'll let you know on the other side of the break.
Everybody talks. It started with the whisper, and now it's when I kissed her, and then she made my lips.
All right, welcome back to Wink News this morning on WXCW. We have a pretty funny caught-on-camera moment for you right now at 9.
You know we love these. This video, though, comes out of one of our production crew members. It's actually her mom playing a virtual reality game, so check this out. Oh my gosh, that's Laura Barnard. She's the mom of our production crew member, Emily Rose. So she was playing the virtual reality game Germ Busters is what we're told. Now it kind of reminds me of an old school, what are those called? Viewfinders, that red thing where you put the slide in the top, you know? Yeah. And if you're not too careful, you'll walk right into a wall because you think you're walking through a virtual world.
That's the danger with these things. They're becoming
Emily,
more and more prevalent.
Mom. Does she know she's on TV right now?
Well, she does now, and I apologize for laughing. It's a very funny moment, but she is okay.
That is a great bathrobe.
Reports are coming in. She is okay. She made it back from the virtual world.
Oh my
unharmed,
goodness.
unscathed.
That would happen to me any day of the week.
I think you're talking about viewfinders.
Viewfinder,
right?
Right? That red thing.
Yeah, you put the name.
Yeah,
those are really old, and those are a lot more high tech.
Right. The original virtual reality is what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, you don't need virtual reality to get outside and feel the rain this morning. It is coming down.
Yeah, we've had some steady rain from Collier County as we work our way into the weekend.
Now, if you're looking for an excuse to indulge this morning, look no further. There's a brand new place to cool down after a day in the sun, maybe after our rain passes, while supporting local business.
So where's Wink Now? Wink News reporter John Treeweiler has the scoop. Good morning.
Sean and Therese, good morning to you from Sandbar Breeze, ice cream and more here in Fort Myers. We're getting you ready for it. The brand new shop is open, just had the big grand opening. So it's spring training season here in Southwest Florida. So we've got all the baseball hats and we'll make it look good for you. It'll be lots of fun. And of course, try all the great, delicious flavors. All right, there they are. Happy spring training season.
Hey, there are no losers when it comes to ice cream. I don't care how long it takes you to make a sundae.
Well, even if you mess it up, you got another cup that you just keep filling that stuff up.
It's true.
Oh, it looks
Pile
good.
it all on.
Cookie dough.
It's
That's
a
one of
good
my
day
favorites.
out there.
A little
I'm
bit
jealous.
of hot chocolate. All right, we do want to feature your nonprofit organization special fundraising event or unique traction in our Where's Wink Now segments of the morning.
All you have to do is send us an email to thismorning@winknews.com. Tell us what's going on, and John will come out, have some fun, and share some good news about what's happening with our entire community. Time now is 9:21. Welcome back. We have an update now to some breaking news we brought you earlier in this hour. We've learned 4 people are confirmed to be dead after that shooting inside a Glendale, Arizona home.
That is including the suspected shooter. We just learned this about 10 minutes ago through a press conference. Also, a child was shot during this ordeal. They did not release the age, but that child is reported alive. We do not know his condition, only that, again, that child is alive. And now this was the scene about 45 minutes ago. You can see that smoke coming from that roof, their house still on fire. That's from these aerial photos you're looking at here, live, or video rather, about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right. We know one officer was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, but that was just as a precaution. The other officers on scene say they expect to have more information to release later on this afternoon. Of course, you can count on Wink News for the latest information as soon as it comes into us. Also, all new on Wink, a UN aviation panel has voted to ban cargo shipments of rechargeable lithium batteries on passenger planes. Apparently, they can create intense fires capable of destroying the aircraft. There have been a handful of such cases over the last few years. Lithium-ion batteries are used in things like cell phones and laptops. The decision by International Civil Aviation Organization is not binding, but most countries do follow the agency's standards. That ban goes into effect on April 1st. Also this morning, speaking of lithium-ion batteries, there's a plant in Jacksonville that manufactures them. Well, President Obama will be visiting the company, Saft, on Friday. That plant was funded through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, and the trip is sure to re-spark debate about the successes and failures of the economic stimulus package. Saft won a $95 million grant through the stimulus and matched that amount to build the plant.
Officials in Silverton, Colorado have voted to set up a Superfund designation to clean up dozens of old mines. This includes the Gold King mine, which was the source of a massive spill in August, tainting rivers in 3 states. The EPA accidentally caused the Gold King spill while doing preliminary cleanup work. The spill polluted the Animas and San Juan rivers in Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah with metals including arsenic, cadmium, copper, lead, mercury, nickel, and zinc. A new government analysis says at current prices and mining rates, the largest coal reserves in the U.S. will be tapped out in just a few decades. The findings contradict conventional wisdom on the lifespan for the nation's top coal-producing region. It also reflects the harsh economic realities. Mining costs are rising, coal prices are falling, and political pressure growing over coal's contribution to climate change. The U.S. Geological Survey says the Powder River Basin along the Montana-Wyoming border has about 40 years of coal at current prices. Past claims projected the U.S. had 250 years of coal left.
Coming up on Wink News, we're live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with important financial news you need to know. We're back in less than 3 minutes. Time now is 9:27.
All right, welcome back. In case you're just joining us at 9:30, we are following breaking news this morning.
Jimmie Rodgers, the second of 2 men accused in the murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers, is now here in the Lee County Jail. Deputies transported Rodgers overnight from Illinois, where he just finished serving time for a probation violation. Now, Jimmie Rodgers was booked into the Lee County Jail just before 6 o'clock this morning. Lee County deputies brought him here, as we mentioned, after he finished that federal prison sentence just yesterday for a probation violation. Rodgers and Wainwright, the other man there on your screen, he was already in the Lee County Jail. They're both accused of the brutal murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers in Bonita Springs in June of last year. We'll have more ahead with a live report in this hour.
All right, moving on. It's 9:30 at the New York Stock Exchange. The opening bell just rang.
Let's check in with Wink News Money Watch reporter Jill Wagner. She's live with all of our consumer news of the day. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. Trace and Sean, the opening bell just rang. Let's see how the markets are doing. So far, a little bit of a down start here. The Dow is down about 45 points. Starbucks is changing the terms of its rewards program. Starting in April, customers will earn points based on how much they spend instead of the current system that gives rewards based on visits. Some people are steamed, pardon the pun, because they might have to spend more money in order to get free stuff. And Amazon customers will now have to spend $49 on items, up from $35 in order to get free shipping. Prime members are not impacted, so Prime members, order away. Trace and Sean.
All right, Joe, we do hear there's something new to keep those kids entertained. What's this about?
PBS is expanding its lineup for kids with a 24/7 TV channel and web stream. PBS says 54% of kids don't have the opportunity to attend preschool, so this added programming is really a big part of their public service mission. If it means more Reading Rainbow, I'm all about it. Therese and Sean.
Reading Rainbow, classic.
Taking it back, Joe.
It'll blast from the past for you.
Awesome.
Was that, what was that, Lamar Burton, I think?
Good question. I can hear the song in my head still.
Yeah, I would. Is that you singing the song?
A little bit, yeah. I only knew the beginning.
Yeah.
Joe Wagner live in here.
It's
Good
catchy.
to talk to you this morning. Have a good one. All right, we were telling you about some rain coming your way in Southwest Florida. Scott's got the latest. Scott.
Thank you, Sean and Trace. And yeah, as you can see, as well as the rain, and we're going to see a warm and humid afternoon at 82 degrees.
Well, brand new developments this morning from Russia as U.S. and Russian leaders are agreeing to a ceasefire plan for Syria.
The new plan goes into effect on Saturday, even as major questions over enforcing and responding to violations of the truce were left unresolved. Syria's warring government and rebels still need to accept the deal for it to be set into motion.
Today, Congress is hearing the Pentagon's plan to finally close Guantanamo Bay Prison in Cuba. The plans call for some detainees to be moved to other countries, while others would be sent to facilities here in the U.S. There are currently 91 detainees at Guantanamo Bay. Of those, 35 are expected to be transferred out by this summer. At its peak in 2003, Gitmo had nearly 680 detainees, and there were about 245 present when President Obama took office. Today, U.S. and Brazilian health workers are searching across Brazil's poorest states in search of mothers and infants. The goal is to use them in a study to determine whether Zika virus is causing babies to be born with those unusually small heads. Right now, lawmakers are considering a $1.9 billion request from President Obama to fight against the virus. He's requesting to use a limited portion of leftover funds from 2014 that were used to fight Ebola.
New developments this morning as Apple defies a judge's order and goes head-on against the FBI. Apple is now asking for Congress to step in as the deadline for Apple to formally respond comes closer. WINK News anchor Rob Spicker, he's following the story. Rob, what specifically does Apple want Congress to do?
Well, Sean, the company's CEO, Tim Cook, he wants Congress to create a special commission to review civil liberties. The FBI wants Apple to create software that can hack into an iPhone. Cook says a program like that is too dangerous and, quote, the only way to guarantee that such a powerful tool isn't abused and doesn't fall into the wrong hands is never to create it. Victims of the San Bernardino terror attack, they're going to join this fight, though, planning to file legal briefs that support the feds. And there's a poll just out from the Pew Research Center showing how Americans feel in this battle of privacy versus protection. Out of the 1,000 that were surveyed, 51% are behind the FBI. They think Apple should hack into the iPhone. 38% support Apple, saying that hacking into the software that the FBI wants, that is too dangerous. We also want to know what you think. Do you agree with Apple? Software like this could be too dangerous to make? Or are you on the side of the FBI, that the software has to be made to prevent the potential of any attacks in the future? Let us know on the WINK News Facebook page. There's a direct link to it at winknews.com if you want to go there first. Trace, back to you.
All right, Rob, thank you. Well, for years, students across the country have been encouraged to study a foreign language. Well, now here in Florida, computer coding might fill that requirement. A bill making its way through the state legislature would count computer programming classes as foreign language credits. The bill would require the Florida college system and all 9 state universities to recognize those credits. It's happening in other places as well because Texas already allows it. Pretty interesting. Now, every president deserves an official portrait, of course.
If you say everyone, that means even President Frank Underwood. That's right, we're talking about the character from House of Cards. The Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery will unveil a new portrait of the powerful and fictitious character. Take a look. This is it here. The portrait of actor Kevin Spacey in his role as Underwood will hang in the museum through October. This painting release comes a week ahead of the series' 4th season debut on March 4th. A lot of fans of this show here.
Very presidential as well. Coming up, Week News is live on the scene of more breaking news we've been following in Bonita Springs this morning.
Our crew just arrived. There is a massive house fire underway. It's on Dorch Avenue. A live report is just minutes away. Be right back.
Welcome back to Week News this morning at WXCW. A pair of Utah sisters who used in vitro fertilization to get pregnant apparently hit the jackpot.
Yeah, the women who are sisters themselves now have multiple sets of twins. Danica Lawrence has the story.
Hallie, do you want to take a peek?
Mom, Carrie Bunker, holds up her daughter.
Completed our families and we are not trying to have any more.
Unbelievable.
Pretty amazing. I mean, the odds of that are very slim. In vitro kind of changes that, but they're all blessed. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. One big family.
Coming up right after the break, you'll get your most accurate weather forecast with Wink meteorologist Scott Zediker.
Plus the Week News flash, all today's headlines and more. And Week News is at the scene of a massive house fire in Bonita Springs. You see these pictures. We just got into the newsroom. Week News has a live report straight ahead. Stay with us. You're watching Week News this morning on WXCW.
Windy tomorrow, breezy Thursday, brings into drier and cooler weather. Look at the weekend, the overnight lows starting off in the 40s, highs only in the upper 60s.
It is time for the Week News Flash. All today's headlines from the world of news, sports, entertainment, and more.
We start with breaking news this morning. The second of two men accused in the murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers is now here in the Lee County Jail.
And that is Jimmy Rogers. He arrived in Lee County overnight from Illinois, where he just finished serving time for a probation violation. Week News reporter Stephanie Susskind, she is live outside of that jail with more on the next step in this very high-profile case. Good morning.
Good morning. Jimmy Rogers booked into the Lee County Jail around 5:45 this morning. Lee County deputies picked him up as he finished that federal prison sentence just yesterday. He was serving 6 months for violating probation. Lee County deputies picked him up from Illinois, brought him here overnight, and he is now in the Lee County Jail. He's facing murder charges along with Wayne Wright, who is already in the Lee County Jail. Both men accused of killing the beloved Dr. Teresa Sievers in her Bonita Springs home back in June. They're accused of beating her to death with a hammer. Now, a new evidence just released earlier this month. Authorities released a taped interview with Taylor Shoemaker. She's Jimmy Rogers' girlfriend. In that interview, she told detectives that Jimmy Rogers confessed to her about this murder. She gave them other information used in this investigation. Now, the investigation is very much ongoing. Sheriff Mike Scott says they are still uncovering new evidence in this case. But again, as of right now, both men accused in this murder are in jail. Jimmy Rogers will face a judge tomorrow for his first appearance. Count on Wink News to be there. Reporting live at the Lee County Jail, Stephanie Susskind, Wink News this morning.
We're also following some breaking news this morning in Bonita Springs, where a deadly house fire is happening right now.
And this happened in the 27,000 block of Dorch Avenue. Week News reporter John Schwieweiler, he is live there now with those breaking details. Good morning.
Yeah, Sean and Therese, good morning to you. We'll take a live look behind us. Still a very active scene out here in Bonita Springs. You can see Sheriff's Line is up around this house that caught fire. We're told just around 8 o'clock this morning, just before then. Unfortunately, the news we have for you this morning is not good. We have one person confirmed dead. We also have one family dog confirmed dead. 2 other people were able to get out of the house. They are doing okay right now. Witnesses here is actually a lawn service crew nearby, spotted this fire, was able to dial 911, run up to the house, break down some windows, actually enter the house, and try to get as many people out as they could. 2 people were able to successfully get out of the house. Like we said, 1 person was not. They are deceased right now. A family dog was also not able to escape the fire. That dog also deceased at this hour. Right now, what you see live is witnesses here on the scene, firefighters doing some mop-up work. Obviously, Lee County Sheriff's Office out here as well, assisting and helping with this investigation. We still don't know what exactly started this fire. We obviously plan to learn that as the investigation continues. And of course, we'll stay out here all day and bring you the latest news as it develops. But once again, 1 person dead and 1 dog dead at this deadly house fire in Bonita Springs. That's where we are live today. John Schwieweiler, Wink News this morning.
John, thank you. Another breaking story we're following in the Week News Flash. 4 people are confirmed dead after a shooting inside a Glendale, Arizona home. That is including the suspected shooter.
Yeah, here's a live look out there right now. The child was also shot during this ordeal. They did not release the age of that child, but they are alive. We do not know his condition, only that they weren't killed in this incident. But this was the scene about an hour or so ago, actually. You can see the house on fire there from aerial photos, still smoking a little bit. But the officers on scene do say they expect to have more information to release later on this afternoon. Coconowik News to bring that information to you. And we continue the Week News Flash with a look at this morning's top other stories. Week News digging for more details in a death investigation in Cape Coral.
Yeah, it happened overnight at the Island Cove condos off Del Prado Boulevard and Veterans Memorial Parkway. This is the same complex where Cape Coral detectives say a missing person lives. James Marshall. He's been missing for 1 week now. He has not been answering any calls, any texts or emails, which friends and family say it's not normal. If you have any information on the location of James Marshall, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS.
In just about 10 minutes, business owners, real estate agents, and the Everglades Foundation are all teaming up to speak about the economic impact. Also today, the Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Sanibel mayors are in Washington fighting to stop all the brown, murky water coming to our area from Lake Okeechobee. They're going to be meeting with the Army Corps of Engineers and the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee alongside Congressman Kurt Clausen. Their main goal is to get the Nelson-Clausen bill passed. That would speed up the process to send water south away from Southwest Florida.
Police in Kalamazoo, Michigan, still trying to figure out what caused a man to go on a shooting rampage, killing 6 people. They say Jason Dalton has admitted to gunning down people at random, as he also ferried passengers around town as an Uber driver. The 45-year-old is charged with 6 counts of murder.
Republicans caucusing in Nevada today to select their party's presidential nominee. Frontrunner Donald Trump is looking to beat rivals Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio once again after winning primaries in both South Carolina and New Hampshire. Cruz is going into today's contest without one of his top aides after firing him over a misleading video suggesting Rubio insulted the Bible.
All right, let's check out the entertainment world on the Week News Flash. Rihanna is working it.
Her latest single, Work, featuring Drake, has hit the top of the Billboard Hot 100. That's her 14th #1 on that chart. That puts Rihanna in 3rd place for all time for Hot 100 leaders, behind only the Beatles and Mariah Carey, so quite the honor.
I like that song. I don't know why, it sticks with you.
Yeah, it does.
Plus easy to sing.
Two of them. Work. Yeah, right.
London Has Fallen co-star Morgan Freeman is almost as well known for narrating movies as he is for starring in them. Now, well, he can narrate your commute. Freeman, in character as Vice President Trumbull from the movie, is the newest voice option on the Waze navigation app. So the Oscar winner can guide you to work, home, or your local theater, or he could take you to work.
Apparently, or he can help me do the traffic reports here. I like that idea.
That is good.
Yeah, right? Fresh off of its Grammy win, the hip-hop musical Hamilton picked up another trophy. The Broadway sensation won the Edward M. Kennedy Prize for drama inspired by American history. The award comes with a $100,000 prize. Pretty cool for them. And now trending in the Week News Flash, with still a month to go until Batman and Superman battle it out on the big screen, you can use that time to enter an awesome contest.
In a new Omaze campaign, you can enter to win the opportunity to hang out with the stars of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Henry Cavill, who plays the Man of Steel, spent some time talking to kids and asking which they prefer, Batman or Superman. And their answers are brutally honest.
This is a starter. Who do you think's better, Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Superman? You think Batman's better? Well, high five for you.
Batman.
You think Batman's better? Oh, what superpower is your favorite superpower out of all the superheroes?
Super strength.
Super strength? Okay. Now, I know it's a tricky one for you, because Batman doesn't have any superpowers. Does he, Ben?
Nice.
Brutally honest.
Yeah. Every entry of $10 or more gets you a chance to win this once-in-a-lifetime experience. To learn more, visit omaze.com.
What is it about kids with British accents? It's just so cute.
I know.
Makes
That's
me jealous
pretty cute there.
that I don't have
if
one
you had
myself.
one superpower, what would it be?
A British accent.
Superman has that.
You're watching Week News This Morning on WXCW.
We are back in less than 3 minutes with a final look at your forecast. It's 9:56. You're watching Week News This Morning.